Hi, it's Katie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm just going to show you a really quick way of working with these kind of shard shaped gemstones or beads that you have, and they're usually a lot varying in size. I've got kind of a bag full of lots of different shapes, and this is something you can use on all of those shapes, whether they're kind of quite skinny ones or fat ones. You'll be able to use it, and it's a way of just kind of caging it and then doing a sort of briolette wrap on the top. Okay, so it's a really simple design. A beginner could do this. It's a little bit fiddly just as we work kind of from this bottom section up to the top, but it's just a matter of learning how to kind of hold the wire and hold the gemstone. Okay, so for this I've got my shard type gemstone. I've also got some 0.8mm antique bronze coloured copper wire, which is a round wire. And I've got my basic tools. So my basic tools are some flat nose or chain nose pliers, my flush cutters and my round nose pliers. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that to one side for a minute. I've cut myself around about 30 centimetres of this. It'd probably be more than I need, but it's better. Depends on whether you're going to have kind of more kind of turns around this central bit or not. Okay, so we're going to look at our gemstone and decide which end we would prefer to be the top. Now I prefer the thinner end to the top because I think it'd be nicer, kind of more towards that briolette wrap type design that we do at the top. So I'm going to have the thicker end as the bottom, but if your gemstone's even the whole way up, either end's fine. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit there. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my round nose pliers right on the very tip of this wire. So right on the very tip of this wire. I'm going to start turning. So I'm just going to start turning, just my wrist that I'm turning, and then I'm going to stop. I'm going to take a look at my wire, and what you find when you start turning, there'll always be just a tiny little piece that's not as turned as the rest of it, just because you have to kind of start on that flat edge. So we snip just that tiny bit off, and you can see it's literally a dot. But trust me, it will make a difference. Okay, so now I'm going to pop my round nose pliers back in, and I'm going to start turning and turning. And now when it's come around and it's joined the other side of here, it's a really nice flat rounded design. So it's going to stay nice and flat as well in the pliers. So now we've got there, and it's as kind of as far as we can go with our pliers, with our round nose pliers. We're going to look at coming in with our flat nose or chain nose pliers. We're going to hold that loop and grip, and then just very gently, tiny bit by tiny bit, we're going to work that wire around. So I'm actually kind of turning the wire around. I'm holding and then pushing the wire, hold and push the wire. And that's going to give us that really nice, neat spiral. So hold and push the wire, and you're going to go kind of as, you'll kind of judge it the more you do this of how big you need this spiral to be. But to me that's not big enough, because I want it to kind of come up to here to this little kind of basket cage at the bottom. So we want to go a few more rounds than that. So we'll go around a couple more times. So again, just working that wire in like so. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 full rounds almost. We'll go for 4 totally full rounds. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to push my gemstone into here. So I'm going to push this in and start pushing it so it forms a little kind of cone. We just want to start to create that nice cone shape. Now this wire at the very top of our cone here is getting a little bit too big now. So what we need to do is we kind of need to hold everything together and give this wire a tug. Now this is probably going to be the most awkward thing to show on camera. So I've kind of got it pushed against my finger there. I'm holding the gemstone, I'm supporting the wire underneath it with my finger, and I'm going to push and just give this wire here a little bit of a pull just to bring it in a little bit. We're going to do that bit by bit. So let's see if we can do it this way so you can see a bit better. So we're going to just pull that wire in a bit, just so we kind of tighten it a little bit around the bottom. Now I can see that's kind of gripping a bit, That is great, that's what we want. It does not need to sit perfectly against a gemstone. We want it to sit like a little cone. If it sat perfectly against a gemstone, it would have a strange angle on it because of the shard shape. But we just want it to sit inside there, okay? So don't worry, it still wants to be rounded kind of design. So now we've got that little cone in there, we're going to start making our way up the gemstone. So just popping that in, make sure you've got it exactly where you want it, and then we're going to start wrapping around the gemstone. So we've held that in, we can adjust that as we need to. So I've come around the gemstone, and then we're going to go around once more. And we're going to come right up to the top, okay, so right up to the tip, and just that last little piece we're going to kind of sweep up, and we want that coming more vertical, sort of straight out at the top there, okay. So this is what we've got that little cage at the bottom, and we've spiraled up, and just as we've come to the top we've kind of brought it out so it's a little bit more coming straight out here. So now just very gently we want to hold everything together. It's not going to come out of there at the moment, it's absolutely fine, but we just want to gently make a wrapped loop, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my wire with my chain nose pliers or my flat nose pliers like so. I'm going to push this away like so. So I've got that little post there, so we're classing this little piece here as kind of a little post. Then I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers, and I'm going to go for that thickest part, the widest part at the bottom, and I'm going to bring this all the way around. So I'm going to bring this all the way around like so, and all the way and past underneath, okay. So we've gone all the way around and past underneath there. Okay, we're going to straighten that post up again, making sure it's all in line. So you can see I've made sure that little post is straight. My wire went all the way around the mandrel of the round nose pliers, and it's come underneath here. So now we're going to go in and we're going to hold that loop to retain that shape, and we want to hold that loop more towards where it crosses than the top, okay. And then we're going to start to wrap down this little post of wire. So, okay, so just holding that in shape and starting to wrap. So using my thumb to control the wire, wrapping down that little bit of a post. So we're going to get 2 or 3 wraps on there. Now what we want to do is catch in the top of that gemstone. So just catching it in and encouraging this wire to come around it. So it's going to have a slight little angle to it. It's not going to be perfect because of the kind of shard nature of the gemstone, but we just want it to come around, and then we want to follow that around and keep these as close together as possible. Now once you've got a few wraps coming over there, it will be a lot easier because it's going to have some strength to it. And we want to come down as far as you feel you need to, so you know you're kind of coming down a really kind of substantial part of that shard like so. Okay, so I'm happy with that there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on, so I'm going to hold on to this tail wire, so holding on to those coils, and I'm just going to sweep it up the back. So it's just swept up the back there, and then I'm going to wrap it around the very top of this little briolette wrap. So I'm going to wrap it a couple of times around the top there. Then I can snip this off and then give that a little squish in like so, and then just spend a little bit of time just making sure you're happy with how that's sitting. So there we are. You can either wear it with that swish up across the front, or you can wear it the opposite way around. I don't think it really matters because it's not, if it was a perfect briolette it would have to look more perfect, but because it's a shard it can look that little bit more organic, because it's never going to be perfect because of the nature of the shape of the gemstone. but I think that's a really cool way to make really simple pendants or bag charms or something like that. And it's a really nice way if you've bought something like this shard type gemstone, and sometimes you're not quite sure exactly how to use them, and it's a really secure way. There's no way that's coming out of there. It's really cute. So thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed my video, please pop me a like below. Also subscribe if you want to see more. I've got lots and lots more videos planned. Pop over to my website, which is www.katieparkerjewellery.com, and there's lots of information about myself and what I do on there, where I sell, my tutorials and workshops, etc. And I will see you again very soon. You take care.